welcome to Fatter Future number 20. We are at number 20, and this is going to be our special Thanksgiving episode. Yay! We're going to talk about turkeys. And hello, Steve. How are you?
I was anxious for you to do a holiday recipe episode. Is that what this is about?
Yes, we're going to cook a turkey in a barbecue. I think that makes sense. Yeah,
As
sure.
long
I
as
don't turkey.
sauce is involved.
It's pretty good. But no, we are actually going to be talking about the other unspoken holiday that's upcoming, Black Friday. And that actually started our conversation. We're going to be talking about supply chains and economy and some of the messages that are being sent out in kind of the communication that's being conveyed from big companies, from big retail stores. All of this really culminating in Fatter Future, is this going to be the new normal of the holidays, the deal shopping, the urge to purchase holiday gifts starting pretty much November 1st? That's kind of going to be our conversation here today as we explore some of the options.
So definitely, what is it? Amazon started Christmas in July, but we're really not going that extreme. We're not going that extreme. We're saying Fatter Future, Christmas starts the day after Halloween.
Yes, and I think, we were seeing this coming a little bit from all of the pandemic news. They were talking about chip shortages. We've talked about chip shortages before on this podcast, but we've also really had a conversation around how the logisticals were impacting not just chip shortages, not just technology. It was really kind of impacting everything as goods tried to move around. And I'm sure, if you've been listening to the news, you've been hearing about this as well. But how does this really affect what's happening right now, and what are things that people could look out for?
So before we get to the fatter future of this, we're going to really touch on these four. We got 4 points, I think. We really have 4 points. So that's kind of where we're going to deep dive into these 4 points, and then we're going to make our call on fatter future. Holiday shopping starts November 1st. Okay, got it. So you're saying, as far as point 1 goes, really comes around to supply chain issue stuff.
Right, and I think this is what we've been hearing about a while before, but just the logistics. Things take longer to get where they're going these days, or there's not enough of it. So for lack of a better example, you have to get in line, right? You want to order a new laptop. You can't just go and pick one off a shelf. You have to say, okay, not the next batch, but maybe the batch after that, I'm going to pick a laptop and that one's mine.
Well, there's a couple other things too. We know, like we've talked about this a little bit before, where manufacturers have found this technique to create demand, early ordering, releasing limited quantities, and it's almost backfired at this point, because now you just can't even get something. It's not even about demand being artificial, but it's just not available, and it's kind of created a new anxiety in the shopping thing, right?
Right. There's definitely, this real sense of this fear of being able to capitalize on it, or maybe not waiting for the best deal because it's just, well, it's here, it's now, I can grab it. And we're seeing definitely some interesting side effects too from different companies. So a lot of companies ran, like you were saying, a little bit leaner, right? They would allow you to pre-order something, but they wouldn't have all the pieces in place to make the thing until you ordered it. You also had other companies that stockpiled a little bit better. Like Apple was notorious throughout the whole pandemic so far. They had stockpiled components, and it's only really until recently, the past couple of months, where it's been a little bit harder to get some of those parts. You're seeing further out wait times for some of the iPads and the iPhone 13s that just came out.
Well, I got my Harry and David catalog this weekend, and I can tell you right on the front cover, it said order early, basket supplies are limited. And I didn't know the global supply chain issues affected cheese and pears. I did not know that. So,
well, I think it definitely is everyone taking advantage of it for sure.
For sure.
It's an easy way to say, hey, you should buy now.
Right.
And I think that leads really into our next point is that there's also the other side of this coin is that leading into our second topic here, there's this pent up demand. People have been thrifty for the past 2 years. They've been unsure of what's coming up, unsure of these supply chains, unsure of even just, okay, well, everything's kind of bare bones right now. There's not a lot of great deals. maybe there's going to be a great deal on the horizon. So there's, there's some excess demand here that's kind of just waiting for supply to be available. And so you've got maybe more people than normal out looking for a car, more people than normal needing to upgrade their cell phones.
Yep.
And that also can put a pressure on it because and if there's more people there's also this willingness to pay more too, right? So, and the retailers aren't oblivious to that. They know that if they could sell you, a Samsung phone at full price, they're going to try to do that. And so, or a Harry and David catalog, there might not be an actual shortage, but if they could get you to pay full price now before their Black Friday deals, hey, sure, why not?
Well, and you're right. There's been some extra stimulus passed out, right, from the government throughout the pandemic. The markets are really strong, so the stock market's still holding very high, and overall the economy's doing well, right? Unemployment's low. You have this whole phenomena on with the housing market. There's all kinds of it, and like you said, cars are going great. So, and there's been an inflation, right? So when we talk about the reasons for inflation. Certainly you could argue that this kind of increased demand coming out of the pandemic is triggering a little bit of inflation along with the supply chain.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And now all of these these are the logisticals. These are things that are happening with limited control, right? And that's where I think our next two topics are kind of rolling into the conversation of, well, what are retailers, what are suppliers doing about that? And I think first and foremost, and this is the one that really kind of capitalized on this fatter future that we're having here, is this early shopping. If you turn on the news any given day, you see experts or industry people saying, well, buy now because you don't know if it's going to be available or you're not going to get it in time for Christmas, right? And this message has grown louder and louder, buy now, buy now, buy now. And I think it really kind of started hitting this heavy pitch November 1st, really, because the moment Halloween was over, it was time. And so the deals have already started, the pushes for the sales have already started, the catalogs are out, and all of them are saying this, get it now because you might not be able to get it in December.
I was out at the movies actually on October 31st to see Dune in IMAX, which I definitely recommend that to anybody watching. Great movie. But the number of people in the shopping plaza was unprecedented. You would have thought it was actually not Halloween, but Black Friday. And I know they weren't there buying costumes. I mean,
Right.
cars were waiting 15, 20 minutes to get out of the parking lot, which is just something I would never expect to see on Halloween itself.
And it's just, the funny part is about all of this is that, and this is what was making me think about this topic point, is it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, really, is because the more people say you need to shop early, the more constrained what supplies we do have, what inventory is in the shelves right now, and then it's going to look empty and it's going to reinforce that, well, I need to shop early, I need to keep going. And so, I mean, I really think that's just going to be what it is this year. I think the bigger question is that, are we going to see the side effects from that from last year? From next year.
Yeah, next
And
year.
and so that ties into then our final topic, which is the aggressive price matching that they're doing, and the free shipping and all of these offers that they are to kind of sweeten this deal, making it more palatable to do early shopping. And really, if that's a bad thing, one of the biggest things is that most of the retailers, and it pretty much ticked on in right at November 1st there, but they started their price matching offers, which means that like the big retailers like Walmart, Target, Amazon, Best Buy, most items, if you were to buy them and the price changed at that retailer between then and Christmas Eve, they would actually give you the difference. They would refund you the difference on the item. Then you combine that with free shipping, again, making it painless. You don't have to go anywhere and get anything. And then the trifecta of these extended holiday returns. You buy something now, you could return it in January. So all of these, again, they're trying to get people to buy now, but maybe it's not necessarily a bad thing, because then I can rest easy knowing that I purchased the item that I wanted. I got what I wanted. I got it for my gift for the holidays. And I just have to keep an eye out. And if the sale comes up, I can just get it price matched.
So it's that kind of old adage of like, different tactics, really, where we're like the
Mhm.
supply chain argument is really a fear-based, right?
Right.
Scared I can't get something that I might want for a gift or for a holiday thing.
Right.
And now on this last point, we're kind of touching on the positive incentives. Hey, we can match a price. Hey, we'll give you back the money and difference if you
Yep.
find it cheaper, or just again, like you said, taking that return into January, they're giving you the positive reinforcement to shop early.
For sure. That's a really good point. And it's a funny situation because that positive reinforcement also works both ways, right? Because then the retailer that sold you the item right off the bat, they've got your money, they've got your business. It's
Right.
incentivizing of them of being facilitating on the other side to keep you there, basically.
Well, so as we talk about these 4 points, is this just a case of a perfect storm, and this is
Mhm.
really just a fad, or is this the future? Like, Amazon saying, Christmas in July shopping is really they were the force, they had the foresight to say this is what the future is going to be, and now we just made that first step there by what's happened this year. So is it a perfect storm, you think, of all these conditions?
I think it's a perfect storm. I mean, if push came to absolute shove, I think it's a perfect storm. But I'm afraid that it's not going. They're not going to give the ground. Um, this has been inching forever, especially when they went online retailing. Right? We saw Black Friday bleed into Thanksgiving Day. We saw it bleed into Thanksgiving week. If there's one thing that I've seen over the years, it's that urge for the sales and for the incentives and for the the fervor, if you will, of that season is not going to recede ground. It's going to keep going. And so I just sincerely hope that Halloween stays strong and keeps the barrier right there, because I think it's going to continue. I think November 1st we're going to tick on, and it's just going to be like, all right, we're off to the races. It is the holidays now.
Well, and you touched on it briefly there, but I think when you consider this, the idea that you're going to have all this time to go shopping is no longer the factor with the online piece, right? And I think that's the big thing. We talked about this a while ago, as a matter of fact. I think it was last year we touched on in one of our episodes about the amount of online sales. And I think the
Mm-hmm.
more we transition to online shopping, the less relevant something like a particular day, a Cyber Monday or a Black
Mm-hmm.
Friday, really matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about capturing feet in a store when I'm trying to chase a sale online. So time becomes less relevant. You want to create an impetus to get the business, sure. Limited time windows, 24-hour sales, 3-day doorbusters, whatever. Uh,
Right.
but but it's not nearly the same when I'm trying to pull people into a physical store and when I'm trying to get them to buy online. So I think that in the longer term, there's a good
Yeah.
argument to say that that the shopping season can be anytime.
Yeah, I totally agree, and definitely speaking from personal platform, I think it's a win-win really, because for a savvy shopper, for someone who's looking at getting the best deal and being nuanced with where their cost and everything, it's an opportunity. You can buy the item, you can rest easy, and then everything beyond that is a lot more passive. You might use some new technologies for like price monitoring, or just peruse the doorbuster deals or something down the road, but it's less intensive than, all right, I'm going to buy this thing, when am I going to buy it, right? There's less stress in that. And like you said, there's less association with a particular day. So, for those of us that work normal jobs, all right, well, maybe it's not tenable to be focused on Cyber Monday to be finding the best deal that there is. And so, having that flexibility is also waylaid because it's a winning for the retailers, because they know that it's going to take a little bit of focus for someone to watch the price of an item over 2 months to find a better deal. And so they know that people are just might, they might just buy it and be happy and forget it and not worry about it. But for those of people that are looking out, it might be a little bit of an extra benefit for them.
All right. Well, as we wrap up, I'm going to call this future. So I'm going to say,
Right.
holiday shopping starting November 1st. This is the future because I've long wanted Black Friday to go away so that Thanksgiving can properly be enjoyed as a full 4-day, no stress weekend. I think that's an important thing. So I'm all for anything that
For sure.
supports that idea. And let's get shopping out of the mix. I know for some people it's a fun experience, but
Mhm.
I say just log into your computer when you're ready. Um,
I totally agree. I think this will be it'll be the little bit of the release valve for that. Not nearly as much pressure. It's more of an enjoyable experience, and who knows, that might be end up being perfectly long term. We're happy that it's the whole month of November. So that
exactly.
being that being said, though, off the beaten path here, have you seen any deals that caught your eye or anything of special intrigue this year?
Well, I do. I have had my eye on the new Samsung phone. So, and
Ooh,
I know that you just happen to get a new phone as well. So that might be something we do in 2022, maybe a little phone episode talking about the new uh, equipment. But Samsung
oh,
did have some
definitely.
early sales with an extra $100 rebate in addition to some free accessories. So I did see that going on.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, I did get my phone, and I got a few accessories too. It's funny, they seem to be pushing the accessories as a way to just tie you in a little bit more, but at the same point, it's free stuff. It's amazing. It's
Right.
very exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely that. I would say that's for anyone that's in holiday mode, like they like decorating. I've been intrigued. There's been a lot of discounts on Christmas decorations, pretty aggressively. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Just something that normally doesn't happen until the end of the season, but just all they're getting swept up in this. The incentive to get these sales going.
Well,
So
and if it means anything, we're actually going to put our decorations up this weekend, a week early. So usually it's after
well,
Thanksgiving, but we're moving the decorations up one week. And I don't know if that's just
there
because
you
I feel
go.
like the end of the year is moving faster than we can handle, but we decided we were okay with one week early to get the decorations up.
Very cool. Well,
All right,
it'll
so
be fascinating.
we both ended up future on this one, and
Yeah.
we've got an exciting episode next month. Episode 21 will be our highlight for the year. We'll pick 3 topics from the year and revisit those as a year and end of year review. So watch for that one. And if you like the idea of us doing a product review on the Samsung Flip Z and Justin's new phone, the Google, what was that?
Pixel 6 Pro.
Pixel 6 Pro. We'll post a comment below. Please remember to like and subscribe to our video, and we appreciate you tuning in to check out this episode, Fatter Future number 20. Until next time, I'm Steve Williams. Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
And that's Justin.
Oh, yes, it's Justin. Bye.
We'll keep it in the end. All right.